So, I bought a 2007 Pontiac Solstice unseen at auction, full well knowing it was wrecked, and I know just about nothing about it. So we got it back to the shop yesterday, and needless to say, we got really excited and ripped the hood off. It was a pretty violent process because the hood was totally like frozen. I had to like get in there with some hinges or with some screwdrivers and pop the hinges open, but got it open, and as you can see, the engine looks pretty much perfect like I thought. This seems to be the biggest chunk of damage right here. It's technically frame damage, but I can get this piece, I can re-weld it onto this perfectly shaped frame rail, so I'm not worried about that. What does kind of concern me though, because the first thing we did was hook up a jump box to it and try to start it. And what happened was basically nothing. The stereo came on, the car seemed good. I forgot to check the mileage. I don't know what I was thinking, because I still don't know how many miles it has, and I'm really curious. But no cranks whatsoever. And that could be a couple things. The wiring harness right here is pretty pinched, and there's a few completely broken wires. So I'm gonna have to go through there and do some wire repair, but that's not the end of the world. Granted, this could be why the car doesn't start right now. Wouldn't surprise me. Not sure though. I mean, there's a major ground that's just completely not attached to the car anymore, so maybe that's what the problem is. But the thing that kind of concerns me is looking at this engine bay. There's silt everywhere. And where did this come from? Like, yeah, this looks a lot like the nasty mud that was at Copart. But the hood was sealed. I don't exactly know how this all got in there. So I'm like concerned. Did it flood? My logic for getting a crashed car like this was crashed cars generally drive to the accident and have good motors. This project really needs to have a good motor. If it doesn't, it's gonna suck. So fingers crossed. My goal is to get the battery out of this thing. It's kind of windy right now, and see if we can get it cranked up and running. So let's get to it. Doors open and close fine. There really is no end to the silt. The interior is not bad. And I actually fit in it. I actually fit in here surprisingly well for the size of the car. Got a manual shifter, leather seats, so that's all pretty cool. Convertible, the roof looks to be in pretty good shape, even though it is totally dirty. Like, I think this will clean up really good. So in time. Back of the car is all pretty much perfect. Got a few dings on this side here. Not sure what that's from. We got one wheel that doesn't match. But I think we did all right, guys. So like I said, what we have to do next is get to the battery and get that charging so we have a good, reliable power source. What they did with Pontiac, annoyingly, is bury the battery down here, and pretty much the only way to get to it is to pull this off. Ta-da! Oh man, who came up with this ridiculous design? All right. Well, this looks like it was a good battery. Doesn't seem swollen. Doesn't seem to leak. I don't see any production dates on it. Oct 2016. So this is kind of an old battery. We'll see if we can bring it back to life, but probably not. All right, let's see if that'll give us enough juice to figure out how many miles this thing has, because I'm really curious. Apparently that's not going to do the trick. I may never find out. How do I navigate this? Service airbag, you fucking think? 73,000 miles. 73,116 miles. Oh, that's great freaking news. I was so afraid this thing was gonna have like 160,000 miles on it and just be like absolutely worthless. We got a 70,000 mile car, y'all. 73,000 miles. I consider that a win. I didn't know the mileage. I knew nothing about this car. It's only got 73,000 on it. For an Ecotech, that's probably just getting started. I'm gonna find out. That is the best news I've gotten all day. That is our first piece of great news. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and get this hood off. Once the hood's off, I will have so much more clearance. This side is completely destroyed. So, oh, there's an airbag sensor right there. And it looks pretty damaged. Okay. There's a ground. As long as this motor isn't locked up, I think this is going to be a pretty easy fix. I think the hardest part is going to be sourcing a hood. So far, just in like the few days I've been searching, hoods seem to be incredibly difficult to track down for this car. And that's like half the car, so we'll see what happens there. But if I can get this thing running with 73,000 miles on it with a title, I can detail up the rest. I can get this thing good. I can make this a win. Okay, what next? Oh, I was gonna take the hood off. It is finally off. Got the airbox out of the way. First good look at the motor. That's silt. It's even under the engine cover though. I wonder how far down there it goes. But yeah, check that out. The condenser's a little bowed. But this stuff's all mint, dude. They're not even leaking. 73,000 mile car probably has working AC. So a lot of chunks of the front end need to be replaced. But this isn't so bad. So we're gonna get all of those bits and we'll build us a good car. Wow, this is kind of crazy, right? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you want to see more of this. I've always wanted to do a Copart build, and I'm actually doing one. Genuinely kind of nervous about it, but my first look is kind of good. Still a lot of unknowns, but hopefully this is a good start. Looks kind of cool, doesn't it? But yeah, definitely give me a like, give me a subscribe. I'm gonna keep making content. It's not just my Solstice. I got a Trans Am that I'm working on. I work on a lot of things, and not everything I'm going to do is going to be race car stuff probably, but a lot of it is. So check it out, see what happens. And on that note, catch you guys later.